Cheers, everybody.
Cheers, everybody.
Gin chin a tutti quanti.
Okay.
Cheers.
Salute a tutti.
Cheers. A vostro salute.
Sante. All right.
The red.
We're at the Burlington Wine Club. So I think from the people that I saw on the call, everybody knows me. So I'm Teresa. The usual housekeeping, we are recording the session, but you can turn off your video. So if you don't want to be on the call. If you want to ask questions, so everybody's been muted. So if you want to ask questions, just go to chat and type your question in. And Marilyn is the co-host, and she's going to monitor that. And if when there's a break or there's an accumulation of questions, then we'll stop and answer your questions. Whoop. Co-hosts are not Lola and Dale tonight. They were last month. It's Marilyn tonight. Sorry about that. Speaker mode and gallery mode are different views. If you wanted to see just the speaker and the slides, then put it on speaker mode. And if you want to see, a number of different people, then put it on gallery mode. Okay, new members, Gloria. I didn't see Gloria on the call, but I know that she can't, she doesn't have a camera on her computer. So we won't be able to see her, but she was planning to join us tonight. And she was here prior to COVID, and she's come back to join us for the last couple of months of this year. So welcome back, Gloria. I think that's awesome. We've missed so many people. Birthdays. Okay. How many September babies? You guys, if you were a September baby, if you had a birthday in September, please put your name in the chat section. And next year, hopefully, we're going to collect all the birthdays as well. And so at least we know when the birthdays are. Recent events last month, Vintage Trade and Vinex and Justin Foxcroft. He came back, some nice international wines. And at the end of the session, I'll let you know we have a few more of the wines from there available. So if you like them and didn't get a chance to order some, you can. Coming up, so in October, we have Majestic Wines. They're international wines. November, Chef Maggie's going to do a Mediterranean Christmas dinner. So that, and actually that's going to be kind of interesting, I think, because when we think about Mediterranean, we often think about the traditional Italy, Spain, Portugal, but Mediterranean actually is, I wonder if we can mute everybody, Marilyn.
Yep, I'm working on that now, Teresa.
Okay, sorry. So we actually have a number of different countries like all around the water, which includes Turkey and Egypt and the Middle East and Israel. So the Mediterranean Christmas dinner is going to encompass foods from all of those different areas. And my challenge will be to find the wines, a couple of different wines to go with all of those. So anyway, look forward to that. And Christmas, December, of course, we don't have an event, or we don't have a standard Burlington Wine Club event. Come January, we're hoping that we'll be back at the Art Gallery with a hybrid event. So if you want to join us virtually, we're hoping you'll be able to. And we're hoping to also be in person. But, we'll have to see. But that's our plan at this point in time. Tonight, welcome Erik and Roman from Commisso Estate Winery, and a little bit of Italian wine in Niagara. That's kind of the theme. So, oops, backwards. Fellas, do you want to talk about the Prosecco, or are you good with that, or basically it's a nice Italian prosecco.
Yeah, 100% for sure.
All
Give
right.
us the floor from you. Perfect. So it's 85% Glera, and it's up to 15% of other vinifero varieties. There's quite a bit in there. The main thing that you're getting on the tasting notes is like it's a pleasant, light, fine, delicate, persistent. The main thing with the characteristics of it is very fruity. You get a little bit of golden apple off of it, and the main thing with the finish is the floral notes.
Nice.
And the rest is enjoy.
Again, cheers. Okay. And the food pairing, as usual, for our sparkling, are potato chips. So
Very
anything
basic and
salty.
simple.
Yeah.
I love it.
Basic, simple, but salty foods and prosecco, perfect. I think. Okay. So now we have the first flight. So we have the Anoak Chardonnay, the Commisso White, the Commisso Rosé. And just in case he doesn't say it himself, our assistant winemaker, Roman here, is responsible for the Commisso White, the Commisso Rosé, and then in the next flight, the red as well. So that's part of why we chose those wines, aside from the fact that I tasted them and liked them. So let's start with the Commisso Anoak Chardonnay. Talk to us about that.
Yeah, so 2016, when we're getting into the profile of it, it is 3 grams of sugar and the alcohol content is 14.5%. The main thing that you're getting on the palate is you're getting notes of quince and pear, and you get a little bit of orange character to it. The residual sweetness on the palate makes the fruit like come forward. Typically with an Anoak Chardonnay, it's a lot less buttery than an oak Chardonnay. It's the opposite in this case. It's actually more buttery than our oak Chardonnay.
So, and the food pairing, and so tell me, folks, whether or not it works, the warm crab dip. So you've got a creamy crab dip, and part of that was because normally it might have been a little bit heavy for an Anoak Chardonnay, but this particular Chardonnay, I think, holds up to the warm crab dip. It's creamy, it's buttery, it's got some seafood, and anyway, you guys let me know whether or not it works.
So Eric or
Tell
Roman,
us, sorry.
Yeah.
tell us about 2016 and your choice of making a Chardonnay that was unoaked.
Well, I would be in high school, and therefore it would be illegal for me to be making or consuming any legal alcoholic beverages. I am kidding. But Andre made all of the 2016 up until the 2019, because he's got the Bianco here on the shelf, of all the wines on the property. And
The main thing, actually, I can take over a
he
little
was
bit.
there. I was still in high school at the time.
Mhm.
So all that I remember from 2016 and what I've learned throughout college at Niagara College was it was a very nice warm year, high sugar profiles in the grape varietals, low precipitation, and a smaller yield, but it created a lot of floral notes development in the grapes as they were growing throughout the season, which allowed for between the Chardonnay to come about and the rest of the other wines that are on the shelves over here from that vintage. Right. The one thing with 2016, the years are very important. 2016, great year. A lot of other years you can see you have more participation rates. You'll have very more riper characteristics of fruit rather than drier aromas or drier fruit forward notes off the palates. And Mother Nature could be one disturbing thing. And this year we're figuring that out now. And it's been a little tough,
And because everyone on the call who got a food kit is tasting this, what is the price point on that unoaked Chardonnay, please?
The unoaked Chardonnay was
$14.95.
$14.95 now. We dropped it down. We dropped
Fantastic.
the price.
Thank you.
Excellent.
On to the
And
next.
needless to say, folks, if you like the unoaked Chardonnay, it'll be available for sale after it'll be on the order form and available. Okay. The Commisso White. Now, this is one of your wines.
Correct.
Okay, so talk to us about this. And folks, if you're having it, you have it with the grilled panzanilla salad. And just remember that there's the salad itself, your dressing on the side, and your roasted garlic croutons as well. Just mix them all together and try it with the white. Talk to us about the white.
Yeah, enjoy. So in the Winemaker Select White, the 2020, there were 8 grams of residual sugar left in the wine, 13.5% alcohol, and the grape varietals that were inside the wine were 50% Vidal, 25% Chardonnay, and 25% Riesling. Off the notes.
Sorry, may I ask?
Yeah.
So this is one of your wines. Why did you choose that combination?
We needed a very pleasant and easy drinking table varietal, table blend that we were able to bring to the table. And considering it was the first of my series that I was able to bring here, it was something I could, let's say, play around with a little bit more. So from start to finish, we used the Vidal, which was our main base of the wine, to be incorporated with the Riesling that we harvested. So now you get that little bite from the Riesling that is in the bottle. Pardon me. That is in the wine, but it is mellowed out through the Vidal, which is a very nice characteristic. I could get all scientific on you throughout the fermentation from start to finish, but come here and we'll have a chat for sure about the technical stuff. Let's just say the varietals that were incorporated were because I needed to make a lot of it. I needed to make a lot.
And at a reasonable price, right?
Correct.
Okay.
For $14.95, you cannot go wrong.
Okay. So, has everybody tried it? What do you think of the wine? What do you think of the food pairing? Let us know in the chat.
Could you just remind us what the blend is? We're getting comments that they love the blend. I might have missed that.
Yeah, 50% Vidal, 25% Chardonnay, and 25% Riesling.
So when you tasted it, Teresa, what drew you to the panzanella salad of those 3 varietals?
So I thought it would hold. So the panzanella salad has roasted vegetables, some bread, and some fresh vegetables. And between the 3, so the Chardonnay brings a depth to it, in my opinion, and allows it to hold up to like the grilled vegetables in the salad. But there's a freshness to it and a little bit of sweetness. Anyway, I don't know. You guys tell me, did it work?
So a few folks are just catching up. Certainly a lot of support for the warm crab dip and the Chardonnay and the panzanella salad. Thank you, Teresa. Food Prank's great as always. And we need to work on getting recipes out a little bit quicker. There's a lot to do in the last week of the month, and but thank you for those who have commented on the excellence of your pairings as always, Teresa.
Too kind. And you know what, fellas, I'm really sorry you guys don't have the foods. Like some of the local agents pick up the food kits as well, so they have the food in front of them.
It's okay. Today was a long day of eating and drinking. So
we have the
All right.
pizza oven out
Okay.
back,
That
and
too.
90% of the magic happens in there. So we appreciate it.
Okay. Anyway, one of the things that I have a whole team of volunteers that we try to do is actually seriously match the food to your wines. And so it's, we're always curious as to whether or not it worked. And anything that our folks say works, we can pass on to you. Anything that doesn't, we won't, of course.
Yeah, no, we appreciate that. We've been taking notes because obviously this is helping us out tremendously as well. So no, we're definitely glad.
Anyway, the Commisso whites. So I'm not normally a Vidal fan, but the 50% Vidal, the Chardonnay, and the Riesling, it works.
Yeah, coming from like honestly, when I came to the company, whites traditionally, it's like a hit and miss, especially in local Niagara, because weather truly does impact the wine, and specifically does more damage to the white as well. And typically the main thing at LCBO, the attraction for white blends, red blends, and rosé is you want something that's either a little bit sweeter. People are getting introduced to wine. The main thing with the white, and I love it because it's the true Italian style of just being, stubborn and doing it their way. But you never want to mix a Chardonnay or a Sauvignon Blanc, because we all have a friend that doesn't like Chardonnay or Sauvignon Blanc because it's too dry. But that's exactly what they did. But the Vidal and Riesling really overpowers it, so you get a hint of it. So it's the best of both worlds because it's a semi-dry, right? And another thing too is with the price is right. And 2020 was a great year for winemaking. That's the only good thing that came out of 2020. So
Yes, because there were lots of difficult things.
yes.
Oh, yes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Awesome. Okay. The Commisso Rosé.
Awesome.
So this is another one of your wines, Roman.
Correct.
So
So
the
tell us about
winemakers, yes, absolutely. The Winemaker Select Rosé has 11 grams of sugar per liter. It is 13% alcohol. And this one here is 94% Vidal and 6% Malbec. On the nose.
Try that again. Sorry. Can you repeat that, please?
94%.
94% Vidal and 6% Malbec. Sorry, my throat
Yep,
is.
okay. No. It was such an unusual combination. I needed to make sure I heard it correctly.
Yes, a lot of people say that right off the bat, and it was a fun experiment to say the least when I made it. So on the nose, you get fruity aromatic. Sorry, the palate is balanced with juicy flavors, filled with fruit, bright acidity in the back of your palate. You'll be looking for notes of apples, pears, cherries throughout this wine, and is well balanced with. Well, you have the pairings there.
Oh no. What would you normally pair it with?
Depending on me, I do like the choice of the chicken. Rosé with me, I tend towards fish.
Mhm.
That is my personal preference. Which kinds?
Rosé and seafood. That's
Yeah.
hand in hand.
Yep.
Right?
I'll do a
Absolutely.
seafood salad, to say the least.
But another thing too is coming from the outsider's perspective as
Mhm.
well, as you never, with the blends, you never want to mix a Malbec, especially in Niagara, because Malbec is the driest grape out here. But being the Italian and stubborn, that's exactly what he did. But they used a little bit more Vidal because typically it's like 90 to 92%, where they did 94%. And honestly, like with the Malbec, it went hand in hand. And I'm typically not a fan of rosé, and the main thing is just the sugar like content in them. Typically the same as the blends as well. Very inconsistent, all the way to 4 to 89 grams of sugar. So you want Perrier water or do you want a pixie stick? But no, he did a fantastic job, and it's on the semi-dry side, and it is very nice.
Okay, and so the food pairing is the chicken pasta, but the chicken is probably less significant than the dressing. And it's the roasted sesame dressing, and there's some vegetables in there as well. But it's really about the roasted sesame dressing with the rosé. And because it could be chicken, it could be shrimp, it could be scallops, it could be fish, it could be anything, any protein in there, but with the sesame dressing. Curious.
Food pairings are going very well, Teresa. So I think what we'll do is maybe take a moment of reflection. Maybe our winemaker would tell us how in 2016 you're in high school, and in 2020 you're making a series of wines that are reasonably priced and fantastic. So maybe a little bit of synopsis of your journey would be interesting to our members.
Absolutely. So
Awesome.
I started reading up and learning about making wine through the old Italian tradition of making it inside of a person's garage. And I just went to go look and observe. I liked what I saw, but I knew during the time I couldn't pursue that craft because of my age. So I waited. From there, I went into actually construction first. I went to go get my heating and air conditioning license before I came here, because with winemaking, you do need to know a lot about cooling, because you hit a certain temperature, all your wine can turn to vinegar in no time. And I do not like a lot of vinegar, to say the least. So from there, after college, I went to go get a few years I went out into my field for heating and air conditioning, and then I enjoyed it, but I knew exactly this was not going to be for me. So I chose a different route. I knew that I had a passion for the winemaking, so I decided to learn a little more about it and where to learn more about it. So I picked up, but I came to Niagara for a bit, and then went to go learn winemaking at the college.
And the next thing you know, you're making your own winemakers series. That's fantastic.
Go figure, eh?
Go figure. So Anne has asked what I would have made my next question for Erik. There's been a different name for this winery, so help us understand what's happening with a branding perspective.
Yeah, so we were known as Villa Bacchus Bed and Breakfast. So where Frank, the owner, and his wife live right now, it was a bed and breakfast. The house next door is where we have a house next door where Frank grew up as a child. And at the moment it's being renovated right now, but they changed the branding to Commisso's. The main thing is their last name. And not only that, in Niagara, Commisso is a big name. For me personally, was the Commisso's grocery store food chain. They're the ones that kind of started the trend. Like when you go into a Fortino's, you get the nice Italian, like true Italian style. You have the bakery, the fresh produce. I know Sobeys and Foodland advertises that as well, but half the time you go in for a head of lettuce, you don't come out with a head of lettuce. It just works like that. I'm not knocking anything. Worked in that industry before. But Commisso's was just like the nice old school nostalgic style. So that's how they branded from Villa Bacchus to Commisso's.
And the Villa Bacchus is how old? What's its history?
Ooh, I think 2009 or 2011.
Oh.
I got to double check on that one. That's a good question.
So still not that old, but yeah.
No.
And when did it become? So I thought one of the brothers, the Commisso brothers, bought the winery on retirement. No?
No, he lived here all his life.
Yeah, this was just a
Yes.
hobby.
Ah.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So one of our members, by the way, as a teenager, worked at the Commisso grocery stores and
That's awesome.
helped on the renovations of the
Of
original
the house. That's awesome. We've the main thing is like we hear that like quite often, but no, that's huge. And
Yep.
just the main thing, like what caught my eye with the company is like truly like the Commisso's grocery store. I don't know, me and my grandparents were a little bit weird, but you know, we wouldn't even go in to buy anything. We would just go in for the essence of it. It's truly like the authentic Italian style. And yeah, there's one left in Niagara Falls.
Surprisingly enough, they helped me out too.
Really? So, and another member remembers the veal sandwiches. And she said,
perfect.
so if they're
yeah.
coming, if they're coming tonight, why are they not bringing veal sandwiches?
Yeah, 100%. Frank's wife, Marietta, made me eggplant parmesan, and I'm going to be honest with you, I almost cried because it reminded me of my childhood. So,
Yeah. Okay.
So thanks for that. We just have one more question in terms of your history. If Commisso Bakery related or in any way to the bakery on Caledonia in Toronto.
I don't think so.
no.
No. So Commisso is like Smith in Italy. Is that what I'm hearing? It's
Pretty much.
Yeah. Exactly.
Okay.
To take things into perspective, Frank's immediate family was 10 people.
Yeah.
It was large.
Yep.
What else? Yeah. Well, I don't know. That's kind of the norm, isn't it? I'm the eldest of 5 kids.
Oh, absolutely.
So I see that you've moved on
Generation.
to the second flight, Teresa.
Yes.
So everyone has the 2017 Pinot Noir in their food kit. Maybe we'll have Roman and Erik walk us through this particular wine.
I'm just going to mention that sounds like a delicious food pairing, by the way.
And it actually I can honestly speak from hand in hand. That would go perfectly with the Pinot Noir with the notes I'm going to think. So yeah, so the Pinot Noir 2017, it's 3.6 grams of sugar. The alcohol content is 13.5%. The nose, you get a little bit of ripe cherry, strawberry, as weird as it sounds, a little bit of cola and tea. And the main thing is you get a slight bit of the carrot undertone with it. So the food pairing matches hand in hand. The palate is, you're getting a little bit more on the drier side. The tannins are integrating with like quite a bit of freshness to it. So the main thing is with the food pairing from that, the carrot also to like root vegetables and stuff like that literally just go hand in hand. So enjoy.
Good.
Yeah.
2017 is a magical year in Niagara. Any comments on that, Erik? And as it
Yeah,
relates-
so in regards also as well as like 2016, the main thing is we got that consistent 22 to 25 degree weather, which did wonders for the grape. 2020 was also a great year. We were all stuck inside, so we didn't really know what we were missing out on. The main thing with 17 and 16 as well is we had like when we were getting to the point of like harvest and certain things, we got the nice dry weather. With the harvest coming up this year, unfortunately, it's going to be raining a lot, and you only want a certain amount of precipitation when you're doing to get your yield off. And not only that, the rain that we had in 2017 was not like the perfect amount, but it wasn't aggressive. This year, you guys are noticing, especially in the Niagara area, the rain we've been getting has been super aggressive. And it's affecting like not only for us like harvesting, but you know, like farmers as well. Soybeans.
So Teresa, traditionally I've seen carrot ossobuco on your pairings as an alternative for those who are plant-based when you have a traditional ossobuco. So
Yeah.
explain your rationale for introducing all of us to this plant-based item.
So it's interesting because I hadn't, so usually, you know, I try and taste all of the wines ahead of time. But I hadn't had a chance to taste this particular wine. But I read the pairing notes and I just went, oh my goodness, the carrot jumps out at me. Mm. And I just had a sense for this. And so I went, you know what? No, not traditional ossobuco. We're doing, but it's Italian. We have to have all the common flavors. And actually, so Lorraine, one of the cooks, she made this. And together we decided on a traditional ossobuco recipe, just substituting carrots for the veal. And as opposed to some of the plant-based recipes that are out there and like substitute. So we took a traditional ossobuco recipe and just substituted the carrots for the veal. And anyway, we'll see if it works.
And is this a similar pricing strategy, Erik? Is this you'll tell me what it is. Nope, yours.
Sorry, for the Pinot Noir.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the price point on the Pinot Noir is $31.95.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Hmm.
The heartbreak grape.
That's right. And Pinot Noir is like that, right? Anyway, it's a nice Pinot Noir.
Yeah,
and I'm assuming people will say whether or not the pairing works. And you know what? The feedback's important, and even negative feedback, because, hey, we're going to do this again, and it works or it doesn't. Anyway. But Commisso Red's another one of your wines, Roman.
Yes, it is.
And
So,
what is it? Tell us about it. What makes you excited about this wine?
well, first red I've ever been able to put in the bottle.
Okay, that's huge.
At a commercial winery, absolutely, that is very huge. So,
Like that is, I don't know if you guys realize, but that is huge, right?
Yeah.
Okay, sorry.
Oh, no worries. So the 2019 Red Select, it has 11 grams of sugar, 13.5% alcohol. The base is Cabernet Franc, 40%, Pinot Noir, 35%, and Cabernet Sauvignon, 25%. Let me know if everyone gets the blends. Apologies again.
So, sorry, can you repeat that, please? Everybody's
Absolutely.
like, we need to hear it twice. I swear.
That's okay.
Sorry.
Mind the noise in the background. We just had a small event finishing up here. So we have 11 grams of sugar. I'll start from the beginning. 11 grams of residual sugar left in the wine, 13.5% alcohol. The Cab Franc is 40%, Pinot Noir 35%, and Cabernet Sauvignon 25%.
Okay.
We can type it in the chat too.
Do you want me to type it for you guys?
That's okay. So I'm curious. So in France, of course, they would never mix Bordeaux and Burgundy.
We're not French.
I know,
But you are correct.
So what makes you what made you blend, like that's an unusual blend again. So
Yes,
your
correct on that.
Commisso White was very unusual in terms of blend, and your Commisso Red is unusual.
Yes. So the Commisso Red, I don't know how to explain this. I
I think they can help you with it.
So what was your thinking?
Okay, so you remember how I said Frank needed an easy drinking white?
Huh?
Now, the same thing applied the year before, but for the red, right? Now, this was when I was a little scarce, and I had to blend. I had a massive table lined up for me to do bench trials. We do bench trials to play around with our blending options.
Mhm.
So it took me, I think, 5 to 6 days to figure out a decent enough blend for him to really enjoy and for him to say, yeah, okay, let's go. And so that was a 6-day period of testing stuff, moving stuff around. And
That must have been a scary time.
it gets to you after the second day. Long hours, but no, between Frank's brain and my brain, managed to put something together for it seems like people to enjoy, which we appreciate the most. Everyone enjoying a lovely drinking wine.
So again, it's interesting.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
Crossing Bordeaux and Burgundy blends together, which again is a new world, of course, and very unusual.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course.
So it's why we need young winemakers, folks.
Back to that,
Who else
like the
would do
traditional Italian.
You're not wrong.
The price point on that for those who purchased is exceptional at $14.95. Eric, are your wines available anywhere else than at your cellar door?
So we, like some of the SKUs were already accepted by the LCBO, our Commisso grocery store. It's getting to the point of like Sobeys and Freshco. So something that's also big for Roman as well, especially only being 24 years old, is we got 6 SKUs that have officially been accepted earlier this week at the LCBO. So that's where I come in as the marketing person. I will be, pitching the specific LCBOs, because how LCBOs have it is they have a planogram or people pay for their spots on the shelf. With local Niagara, there's a little bit of leniency like in there, but it basically to the point of, introducing ourselves and hopefully getting it on the shelf. And another thing too is if you guys ever go to your local grocery store that carries wine, or if you go into your LCBO, you just let them know, hey, I want some Commisso Estate wine. It works.
Well
it works.
Yep. Okay, Commisso Red. Everybody tried it? What do you think? Like, nice.
So there were 19 bottles of that are in our members' hands. So our members tend to skew a little bit more to reds, typically, especially as we get into the colder weather. So Winnie has said it's very good, maybe with a stronger taste, maybe a game meat would match with that, picking up on the Cab Franc and the Pinot Noir, potentially. Thank you for that. Beth and Martin, the red wine is paired very well with cheddar. So again, Teresa, this gives you an opportunity to say, notwithstanding, we always finish with cheddar and chocolate. Why the Cab Franc Pinot Noir Cab Sauv? Why does that go so well with the cheddar that you've chosen?
So, ending a meal with cheese, and the reason we do it with cheddar each time is because it is the consistent cheese that works with a red wine. Like we could switch things up and do a brie and this, that, and the other thing, but nothing works as well as cheddar with a decent red wine. And dark chocolate always works with our best red wines. So, and from a practical perspective, if I'm totally honest, we're providing meals for or tastings for 45 people tonight, sometimes 60 people, sometimes 100 people. We have 4 complex dishes and 3 simple off-the-shelf things that we can provide. So that's the practical part of it. But we also think the cheddar with red wine and dark chocolate with red wine are really good matches.
Thank you for that. Maybe before we'll let people catch up because they're certainly enjoying their red. Maybe Erik, you can bring us up to speed on how we can come and visit your winery. The world seems to change virtually every day here in Ontario. So what's currently happening and how can we come and visit you?
Oh yeah, 100%. So just for everybody who's not familiar, like we're open 7 days a week. Our hours are 10 to 5, and then Friday, Saturday, Sunday, 10 to 6. We changed. We're closed on Wednesdays just at the moment for the near future, but that'll change, being open back up to 7 days a week. The main thing is we're still figuring out where do we go from here in the near future when the colder weather comes. We have a lot of options where one of our winery associates, including myself, will actually come to your house and pour for you and your guests. We have a couple of shows that are coming in the near future. So we have like a vendor show that we're doing. We have a Thanksgiving feast. But in regards to like COVID restrictions and everything, we're still waiting on that update from Wednesday, because the update that they gave for, restaurants and certain other establishments don't really affect outside. But we do have a tennis court, and we operate the tennis court for specific events. So, if you were coming for something like that, I believe at the moment, you do have to have your just a copy of your passport. But as of now, with us operating outside for your traditional tasting or to coming to get food, right now, no certain capacity. Obviously, we're not going to have, 50 people under our gazebo. But at the moment, there's no requirements for outside.
And should our member call ahead and book an appointment time with you? Is that a better way to go?
Yeah, so the main thing is if you come between Friday and Sunday, it's always good to book ahead. We always accommodate as much as we can, and we want to. Typically, if you come throughout the week, between Monday and Thursday, it's some of our downtime. It's when we're doing like in the upcoming future harvest, etc. But you get like that nice personal experience. You can honestly just walk in. If you want to do charcuterie, we do ask like 12 hours in advance just because of how fresh everything is. If you're looking, for like pizza, literally to the point where we're cutting the mozzarella and picking the fresh basil leaves right off the property with a pizza oven. But in regards to like booking, it would mostly be, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. But yeah.
So we were delighted to find you. One of our members, Sue, and her husband, I think, went twice, and then Teresa and Sue went. So they've been on your property and they've had a lovely experience. But quite frankly, my ears just turned off when you said, "Come to your home and pour." So sorry, what? You'll come to my home and pour? So
it's something that we're going to be experimenting with in the near future. But yes, of course.
Oh, okay.
Come pour over your guests. That's what we're calling it.
All right.
We'll have some more news about it on our email list. I think
on our website, and also on our website.
On our website too.
Yeah, we have an events section.
Okay.
So it will be posted up there eventually. Timeline, I don't think we have a timeline for it yet.
Not at the moment, no.
All right. Well, keep us posted, and if you need,
absolutely
a volunteer.
Absolutely.
Yeah. You need chefs or pourers or somms or
We're here to help. We're here to help.
Hey, no,
Glad to hear.
because we do that for a living.
Right.
And for fun as well.
And for fun.
So I think everyone is probably caught up by now.
Yeah, we're ready for
I will
the rest
admit
of the
to
round,
a little bit of confusion. You have a number of Rosso products on your website. So this one is $29.95. Perhaps you can guide us through that first, and then we'll move into some of the differences in your range.
Yeah, 100%. So, are we good to get into the Rosso Grande, and then I'll give like a little bit? Perfect. So,
Yep.
for the Rosso Grande, enjoy it while you can. Unfortunately, for the 2017, we're at the point where we don't even have a case left. So you are lucky, unlucky at the same time, unfortunately. But at least you were able to try it. The Rosso
So there's
Grande
nothing available for sale?
Unfortunately for the Rosso Grande, yeah, no, that was one that we carried at like supermarkets as well. Yeah. So for the Rosso Grande 2017, another thing like Goodyear, price point $29.95. It has 5 grams of sugar. The blend in it is 14% Cabernet Franc, 60% Cabernet Sauvignon, 15% Merlot, and 5% Dornfelder. Do we need me to repeat the percentages and the varietals again?
No.
We're okay for
I'm
now. We can
good,
go back
but
if we have to. Yeah, no worries. We can go back. So on the nose, you're getting blue and blackberries, a little bit of cherry and raspberry. The main thing, especially that you're doing chocolate, is you get a hint of cinnamon and the chocolate tones to it. The palate, it's a little bit silky. It's fruit forward. It's nice and vibrant. So the flavor stays with you. It's a little like heat that you're getting in the throat. The main thing is with this one, like the taste lingers, especially the fact that you're pairing the chocolate goes hand in hand. For some people, it's a little bit overpowering because when they drink a wine on its own, they want the taste to come and they want it to be clean and they want it to be finished. For me, I like the nice fuller body reds. I like the lingering, but it's to each their own. So that one's for the Rosso Grande. We did have a 2017 Rosso as well. Same grape varietal, just done in a different barrel and prematurely pulled out 2 months earlier. We just bottled today our 2020 Rosso.
Yeah. And that will be released in about
2 weeks.
2 to 2.5
2 to 2.5
just because of the bottle shock.
And the price point on that one starting is $14.95, which honestly is amazing.
Sorry, Eric, just for the one that we're tasting, what is because it's not on Teresa's placement, what is the year on the Russell?
2017.
2017. And could you just repeat the blend? I'll put it in the chat.
Yeah, no problem. So it's 60% Cabernet Franc, 20% Cabernet Sauvignon, 15% Merlot, and 5% Dornfelder, Dornfelder.
Interesting.
Never heard of it. So,
yeah.
Can you
So
drill down on Dornfelder?
So
the main thing is it's one of the
Dornfelder being grown in Niagara.
Yeah, no, it's typically the main thing is like traditionally German style, a dark skin varietal grape. That's what it is.
And it
works well growing here. We don't have much of it, but because of our extreme highs during the summer and extreme lows during the winter, we can simulate how in Germany they're grown over there in certain climates, which is why it grows particularly nice over here.
So I'm surprised that there's not more grown. In Canada, the only other place I've seen it is like northern BC, where they grow all the German grapes, and Dornfelder is like they grow it there. So talk to me.
I believe there is a law that states either law or regulation or something that wines throughout Ontario are only allowed to require up to, I think, 15% per wine, which is why they're not grown as much per se. So you won't get a straight varietal Dornfelder.
No, because it's not VQA, because it's not a VQA grape.
Not quite. I got to double check that. But the law states on that is for this particular varietal up to 15% within one wine.
Okay.
Yeah, it's interesting. I never heard about it until this year.
Well, I recall a lot of BQA regulations were malleable when times were tough in Niagara. That requirement got a little bit fluid. Roman, you were probably still in high school when it happened.
Maybe grade school.
Or
Maybe grade
diapers.
school. Yeah, it was a hard and fast rule for a lot of reasons, but in sort of the last 10 years, there was a fluidity to it because there was just not, it was a bad year and there just wasn't yield. And so the Ontario growers lobbied to the provincial government for some leniency on those VQA requirements. And so maybe some of what you're speaking about is a holdover from that.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's, the whole world stopped changing, 18th of March, 2020, the whole world stopped turning. So Erik, this 29.95 spectacular, we have 11 of them. Husband in my garage. I don't know why I just revealed that. I should be just putting them into my cellar. Help me understand how the 29.95 relates to some of your Appassimento. You've got wines in the $55 range, the $59.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
So the main, like the biggest thing is like the work that goes into the Appassimento, and not only that, it's honestly like a dying art form. There's only a amount of people that can actually do it properly. The main thing is if you mess up on a red wine or a white wine, you can do multiple things. You can let it age a little bit longer, add tannins, bleed the skins, make a rosé. The list goes on. If you mess up on an Appassimento, like it's a complete write-off. You can't use it. And not only that, you're already losing 30% of the yield because you're drying it up to the raisin. So you're losing all your liquid. And for some people, it's just not worth doing it because it doesn't pay off if it doesn't do that. And not only that, a lot of people went down the copycat route, and when it didn't work out for them, they wasted tens of thousands of dollars. So that's where you're seeing the price point. And not only that, what they use into it, like the extra added tannins, the higher alcohol percent. And honestly, it's to the point where you truly do have to try the Appassimento, because even though as much as you explain it, there's a huge difference between your traditional house red.
Well said.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Just like we practice.
it's an expensive process for certain, but to see it in Niagara is highly unique. Would you agree on that?
Oh, 100%. The main thing is the senior winemaker, Andre Lipinski, who did all the Appassimento, very well-known name in Niagara, but the only person that I've seen in like the research I've done that has, honestly, other than the owner, Frank himself, that can actually fully like do the Appassimento process. And it's to the point where you're sitting in local Niagara and you're sipping on an Amarone wine. So you get that nice, traditional Italian twist to it as well.
So
Which is
go
a
ahead.
great reason for all of us to go out and visit you.
100%.
The members are loving your wine. They're certainly loving the food pairings. Thank you for that, Teresa. Erik, I know my crystal ball really stopped working on the 18th of March, 2020. Where do you see the winery going? We have this mix of $14.95, easily approachable, highly affordable, and yet you're investing in Appassimento. So are you able to comment on where the vision of the winery is going?
In the sense of, do you mean like making other wines, or?
Well, it seems like, are you serving two masters? You're serving the everyday $15 price point.
Yeah.
And then but yet you're still investing in high intensity, high value Appassimento style.
Yeah, no, 100%. We want to keep the Appassimento like going as much as we can. And the main thing is versatility is always going to be like a big thing. We want to go to the point of like cheap, in the middle, and expensive. We want to be able to offer a little bit of everything. And obviously, like the quality, it goes down in certain things and goes up, especially with price point. I don't know. For me, like personally, I do see a lot of good things for the near future that I've seen so far. Is our 1495s, for example, the 2020 Rosso. It's one of the nicest reds I've tried. You get a little roasted red pepper on the back of it, and it just beats your traditional house wine. The Appassimento, we want to keep that as long as we can. To answer your question, it would be everything: cheap, middle, expensive.
Mhm. Mhm.
We want to please everybody.
Yeah.
Once you start pleasing one crowd,
The other
you
one
eliminate-
complains.
Yeah, you eliminate the other. So
Want to keep everybody happy.
Yeah, exactly. We love keeping everybody happy.
And it has been our experience certainly at the club that the winemakers in Niagara, they help each other out. It's a community.
Absolutely.
There's healthy competition, but there's also so we've enjoyed Vieni has come to us, and they represent a certain style of Italian wine as well. So we're just so delighted, and thank you, Sue, for introducing us. She's reminding us about the charcuterie platter at your winery. And if you're going to go, block off about 3 to 4 hours of time, because in my retelling of the story, that's about how long it took to go through a beautiful experience of wine tasting and pairing at your winery.
Excellent.
Hey, well, we appreciate it, and no, they were amazing. They were very nice to me. So treated me like family, one of the own. They're the reason we're here, which is awesome. So kudos to them, right?
Thank you, Sue.
So Teresa, I think
Okay.
we're right at 8:25 ish,
Yep.
8:28. So
So obviously, thank you so much, Erik and Roman, for coming out. That's awesome. And especially after a long day. And I had heard
That's
ahead of
okay.
time that it was going to be a very long day for you. So I hope you can join in some of the celebrations at the end
Oh, we will.
and get some sleep. Okay.
Thank you, everybody.
Marilyn, as always, you're awesome as a co-host. Food and wine kits. So all the food was prepared by Dorothy, Lorraine, Carl, Anne, and all the pickups and everything got done by Marilyn. I have a team of volunteers that are just, I think, outstanding in terms of food prep. And Marilyn, everything gets picked up from you. Everything gets delivered to you. Like logistically, you was like whatever. Wine buyers, let us know if you want any more of the wines. We have a few left over from the kit, and we can always order more. And if you want to take this particular link down, the order form is there. You can order any of the wines. Okay. Coming up next month, Majestic Wines, International Wines. That's our last official Burlington Wine Club event for this year. And then we have the Christmas party. So anyway, we're going to do our best. Everybody come out. International Wines. It's going to be interesting. Lorraine and I are already working on the menu. Nope, that was it.
So I posted the link in the chat to go to the order form.
Perfect.
And I'm just letting you know, the winemaker's white, there are 8 in inventory. Rosé, there are 10 in our inventory. The select red, we have 5. And
So after that, fellas, we'll order more.
or order
But
more.
we'll
Yeah.
deplete our inventory first.
Yeah, the Rosso Grande, I don't know why I'm sharing this, that there are some, but there are 11.
Anyway,
Thank you, everyone, for joining, and thank you, Erik and Roman, under the trying circumstances of the time of year. We really appreciate you coming out
And if we unmute, people is like anybody wants, so it's an opportunity again at the end of the evening to socialize.
That was great. Nights were wonderful.
And do you fellows have anything to add at the end?
No, honestly, we appreciate this so much. Everybody, like, we like the interactive and everything. We look forward to, you know, possible things in the future. But yeah, no.
Excellent. Okay.
There you go.
Thank you so much for everything.
Hey, well,
You have to help clean up now, so
yeah.
And
all the best,
and
everybody.
Roman,
Yeah.
Yes,
Roman, congratulations on your 3 wines.
thank you. I appreciate
Very,
it.
very nice.
Thank
Well
you.
done.
Thank you.
Perfect. Have a good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys. See you again.
Ciao.
Bye-bye.